with the Federation C, it had 2 shields. It had a Burst Laser 2, Clone Bay, 3 human crew, Heavy Laser 1 as well. Is there a clip of that fight? Not... I don't think there is. Well, the real question is... Has Mike made it public yet? Okay, it hasn't done it yet, and mostly it's for my discretion. So, yeah, Mike was like, "Oh, I have this idea," and we kind of talked about it and said, you know, I want to take a closer look because it's actually pretty. It's an interesting thing. I don't bother Mike with the little things. Yeah, and hello, Galaria. How's it going? So Mike was just like, maybe you should have done like Yakety strats, buy time, then do Mantis C strats after it. Like he just compartmentalized it in a thought experiment and then tested it like 3 or 4 different times. And it was just like, took like nothing damage. And I was just like, oh, okay. So that's like the Federation C strat that I now want to use like all the time. But yeah, so he, like, the scenario that he came up with is, like I said, you're dealing with 4 shots. Mike has a program that essentially allows him to recreate scenarios in FTL. Normally he has like 3,000 scrap or whatever it is, but he actually no, it's only like 20 minutes, I think. I think it's pretty short. Then I was like, yeah, 30 hours. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's just like the amount of time. It's like, oh, you made a 20-minute video. How long did that take? Way longer than 20 minutes. Way longer. But yeah, so it was pretty interesting. So essentially, he just set 2 borders, ran around in a circle, then sent the other 2 borders over, then did Mantis C strats, which is you put 3 crew in shields, and then you bug out the 2 to just start punching down weapons, which is the strategy I wanted to use, but then I completely blanked on the fact that you have to do 3 crew. I tried it with 2, and it's literally impossible because you have to rotate 1 crew back in, and that resets the punch down damage. And essentially, the 3v1 in that scenario will, like, kill your crew in about 12.5 seconds. At least I learned that timing, because I was able to punch down 1 weapon. And then, essentially, was able to get the fight under control, and then win the war of attrition, but took, like, no damage. So that was pretty cool. Anyways, tonight's ship, though, we got the Mantis C here. Mantis C is an interesting boarding ship. It has garbage weapons, and we also only have 3 weapons in total. But we do have a 4-person teleporter and a level 2 clone bay. So we actually have a lot of things to sell. Normally I get rid of lockdown and pheromones. And what we're looking for early is, upgrade-wise, is to get a 2nd shield online to limit how much damage we're going to be tanking. And, yeah. Yeah, so, like, he just yakety stratsed it, Mantis Seed stratted it, and then won from there. And I think the most damage he took was, like, 4? I don't even think it was that. The really crazy thing was that Mike did, aside from, like I said, he came up with the thought experiment and went through with it, is right when his doors also got shot in one of the videos, or one of the versions, tests that he did. And he, like, spent a little time and then venting his ship to try and dissuade the crew from breaking a system, and came, like, really close. But it was, like, one of the most complicated things I could even imagine trying to do. It was just, like, trying to open certain doors so stuff would air out while, like, controlling the fight while not having anybody over on the ship. It was bonkers. Yeah, well, I was trying to do Mantis C, which is 100% wrong because I don't have the third crew, so I can't maintain. We'll probably do it on this ship, but yeah. No longer do FTL players rely on hindsight. That is actually a pretty big difference. Was something else I talked about, Mike, but this a little while ago, was just this idea of there are going to be players who do really well who don't have experience at the same level. Because there's just so many tried and true methods now, you know, that's been pretty well codified on how you want to approach certain ships, certain fights, certain tactics, etc. And, like, well, I have hesitations about certain things because I'm like, oh, I totally remember something awful happening against that ship one time or something at this particular quest beacon. Like, their decision-making process is not, I don't know, tainted by that kind of information because they just don't have that experience with it. They're just like, oh. So sometimes their level of self-preservation may be not as high as it should be. It's interesting. Yeah, well, I guess you could make it. I assume there's some availability to others. Hollow has something similar where Ghostman has a program where you can just create save files whenever you want and then revisit bad fights. So you can just go and essentially just redo the same fight over and over and over again until you can figure out what actually is the best approach to it. Which like I said, it strikes me as a little bit funny, and this isn't like a dig at Hollow, because why would it be? Where Hollow would be like, this fight is stupid and it's RNG, but then he will actually go back and replay the fight a bunch of times and be like, okay, maybe I did it wrong or whatever, and then apply that lesson. So it could come off as being super salty about the situation, but at the same time, still willing to go back and do an analysis of it to determine what's the better route going forward. But yeah, a lot of stuff was just sort of if I have... There was the Rock C run. We're just chatting. There was a Rock C run that I had where we did the level 2 sensors for 12 scrap in Sector 1 because it was so cheap. And that's not really gonna be an issue. It's 12 scrap and should pay for itself. Never paid for itself, ever. Never, ever, ever did. But in Sector 5, I got a little bit jammed in a store, and the 12 scrap might have made a difference. So a decision I made back in Sector 1 to spend 12 scrap potentially influenced a decision I made at a store 4 sectors later. Yeah, I think some of it is. Or it's just a venting process, or sometimes there's just you get it out of your system and you go, or it could be performative, but yeah, the fact that it never paid off is I was definitely surprised. Level 2 sensors with 4 or 5 jumps left in Sector 1, never getting a singular blue option. Hey, Biff. So, people are like, I better upgrade to piloting level 2 for these, 3 nebula jumps. Level 2 sensors for 90 jumps. No payoff. For 12 scrap. If one's on board. Alright. You can be Arlanius. As a player, is distinct trend miserliness? Yeah, I mean, there definitely is, the scrap spending is ridiculously important in how we do upgrades on ships and how we spend money. So I spend so much time in stores. They are, legit really important decisions. And sometimes, it's spirit animal? Nice. It's like how with the NGB run where we bought the Combat 1 drone, that is not standard play. There's no ship guy that's if you get to a store, buy a weapon, or that's there, or other things you can buy, but it's never really talked Combat 1 as far as I could tell. And then while I played with it, after I came with the decision to buy it, and then I used it, and I was like, wow, that seemed to work out really well. Actually, it does a lot of stuff for you. And I sent that information to Mike, and Mike's like, oh, that is an interesting decision. And then a couple hours later comes back, it's Actually, I really, really like that decision. It's like, yeah, it makes a ton of sense on that particular ship. Goes FTL past, present, and future. Yeah. Crow Reveal. Crow Reveal. All right. Yeah, so Mantis C, we have to do some funny strats on trying to get crew ready to go, and then sometimes we'll board with 1 crew, sometimes we'll board with 2 crew, sometimes we'll board with 3 crew. Radar. What is a radar? I don't even know what that is. Early-ish crow stream. Yeah, sometimes start early. Ratman also wants to be a Lanny. Randy has been claimed. We might be able to pick up another one. I kind of hope not. He'll pass as a Nebula Ion Storm. You'll be in the next landing. Fair enough. Necro Rebel died in that Ion Storm fight. The ammunition one. Let's see. I think it was in Sector 6. And it ran 2 shields, 2 offensive drones, and 3 power and weapons, I believe. Doesn't show any drop frames on my end. I think Gestro requested it for the Stealth B, but I couldn't access that, so we just put it over here. It's not really it's a white whale, but... Caw-caw! Maybe it was Maniac. Alright, data carries, auto remaining Federation fleet, need to splash the journey, make sure to explore your sector before moving to the next, get the extra fleet. Alright. Mantis goes here. We save those positions. And then we move the NG into sensors, and we move the Lanny over here. All right, well, looks like we're jumping from that beacon. Store's pretty cool. So again, Sector 1, our main goal is to get to Shields 2, and then maybe find crew. Oh, that's loud. Well, I have to reject their offer. They have a clone bay. We had to do 1 damage to their weapons. They have 2 crew total. All right. So, by how we did, like, if you want to, why we do all that, like, movement stuff, it's so we get in this position before the each jump. So now we have both of our crew in the mid bay. Maybe find a small bomb. Oh, that'd be nice. So we have both of our crew, sorry, not in the mid bay, but we already have moved both of our crew in position here for teleporter, and then our third crew gives us sensors as well as the ability to just run them over here and board as well, which we're gonna do. All right. So with the 2 in here, that's actually gonna pull both of their crew. And we're just gonna leave the NG there so we can try and break this weapon in time. Oh, that's really beneficial, perhaps. Nice. I'm supposed to rotate them earlier, but this will be okay. No, it won't. All right, that's on me. This is almost out of oxygen. I should have moved my crew sooner. I thought the NG would survive longer, or that we'd be further along in breaking their weapons. Let's go ahead and stun bomb their weapons just to be safe. I don't want this 2-shotting and causing me any problems. It's just being, like I said, extra safe here. And this Mantis is in a bad spot because they're going to asphyxiate. All right, Mantis dead. We're actually going to go in here, and I want to break this weapon if possible. The health is not as important. I was just making sure this weapon's offline. There we go. Now we're completely safe. Fun news, the multiverse energies are immune to no too. Really? That's interesting. Break it. Alright. Decent first fight. $18. Alright. So Lania's health is actually fine. That's another thing you have to try and keep an eye on, is you want your Lania's health to be maxed out. So they'll actually will be fully healed by the next jump. Oh, you can get them to be there. Yeah, I saw that there's like you can get weird abilities, like they heal your own crew in rooms or stuff like that. Oh, so is this the dome thing? Oh, okay. Radar. One ping only? Alright, I get everyone back. Let's see what the next beacon has for us. Alright, so you've seen these two jumps. Actually, this one does pick up this beacon, plus it gives us this one, so we'll go ahead and jump here. Again, we have to do the same. This shenanigan. All right, good fortune. We've run into each other. Nothing personal. We have some information we need. Wow, what's with all the clone bays? That's not cool. And they have a missile, which I don't know if is an Artemis or not. This fight is very gross. I guess we're still doing... Like, I can't do board 3 strats because there's 3 of them and there's no 2x2 rooms. Who's wrong? I don't want to be right. Okay, so we're gonna have to think about this fight because it could be an Artemis. If the Artemis hits us in shields, we are very, very vulnerable to taking a ton of damage. I don't lose like any of these fights except like the human one. Maybe I board 2, keep the NG on side to repair things until I find out what this is. Even if this is a Leto, this is a problem because like if our shields go down and this thing just absolutely starts annihilating us, it's 2 damage every hit. That's not fun time. Okay, we could board 2 or we could wait. They don't have a teleporter, so they're not coming over. Well, any missile is a problem, because if it hits in shields, then the heavy laser is live. That's the primary concern. We could wait for our weapons to get live. Yeah. Mantis C looks fun. What is lock? Yeah, it's a lockdown bomb. It essentially does the same thing that a Crystal crew member does. It just gives you a lockdown, but it costs you a bomb. Yeah, we rotate ramming sensors on this ship. I think O2 needs to be dropped below 50% as targeting stuff. That's interesting. 15 seconds. I like how this one doesn't even tell you the time on it. No, that's just on time. do. Alright, I'm just gonna keep thinking about this until I actually am, like, happy with the solution. Like, I win the fights. Alright, missile hits. Heavy laser hits first. Missile hits. Clone Bay goes down. That's not... Clone Bay going down isn't inherently a problem because we're okay in the fights because it's 2 NGs. My lockdown bombs 15 seconds. Stun bombs 17. I kind of think the right call here is to wait. Just because we may need to repair. Yeah, I mean, you do this right in sensors because you just want that crew to be there. I mean, it could just board with the 1 Mantis. I inherently don't lose anything boarding with the 1 Mantis, and it's potentially a distraction. It's on a 20-second cooldown. Both of these will have a chance to go off. Tricky ship. Knowing when to board with all 3. Yeah, I know, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't inherently use. Like, a lot of time I don't even use these items, but it's probably going to be necessary to try and secure this fight. That's why I'm taking so long to figure this out, because their weapons are insanely dangerous, and their room layout doesn't give me a way to manipulate their AI. I can hold down 2 in shields. That's it. That's all I can do. So the 3rd crew will stop me from doing anything else. Unless... Nah, weapons are second on the priority list. So I can't go like 2 in shields, 1 in Clone Bay, move the shields to weapons, and they're going to defend that. I think the crew would move over. Shields goes down, then both my weapons are up. Suggestions are fine, just don't be rude about them. Like, I'm always open to suggestions, or like, hey, like, here's an idea or something like that. If it's like, this is it, I can't believe you were too dumb not to think of it, by the way, I'm a genius for thinking about it, then yeah, I have a problem with it. It breaks faster when getting boarded. What was that about? 4 squared better than 2 squared. Oh, yeah. Of course, they went to sit join. Hey, Cora. Ba, ba, da, ba. So, I could board with 1, I could board with none, wait to see if my weapons do anything good. We could board with 3, do yakety strats until we land into their weapons. Yeah. So 2 go weapons, base 1 shields. Yeah, so I was even thinking yakety strats, but level 2 unknown, also true. So So what Farb's suggesting is we board 3, we put 2 in shields, which baits 2, then move 2 crew to weapons, we'll kill 1 off, and then try and do some rotation things. Fastest way to control the fight. Yeah. So worst case scenario is my shields go down, but then both my weapons will still be live. And if I have stun and lockdown with them being preoccupied, I can get an advantage. All right, I think we're gonna do the board 3. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's do this. Okay. All right, so I got the 2v1. Shot. Leto. Okay. All right, now how am I gonna use like lockdown bomb or something? And the NG's at 26, 80, 30. What's the best use for the lockdown? I mean, we could just use the lockdown in here, and eventually we'll be able to just break their weapons because it's only 2 damage. Because we didn't take damage off this, so we're still, like, safe. Yeah, I could stun to see if this is level 2 so it doesn't come back. I mean, I think we get the 2 hits here, but Mantis might asphyxiate in that time. Okay, we're just holding. All right, fight is now safe. Except they have double NGs. All right. It's a level 2 clone bay. Okay. This is fine now. It's fine-ish. How much health is a human at? Alright, so what we know... Okay, I do want this fixed because I need my crew to come back faster. Alright, I'm not worried about anything, just cause as much disruption as possible. Okay. This is fine. Well, again, we actually aren't worried about like what crew they have. Once our Mantis comes back. Starts wrecking shop. And we're just trying to maintain the Lanius' health here right now. All right, so I want to move there, put them in that spot, move the crew back, and this. Okay. Nope. Alright, cool. So now we actually have control of the ship. I mean, the lack of oxygen, the Lanius gets really buffed. Probably like way cleaner ways to do this right now. All right, I would like the Lanius crew's health to be reset, if possible. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think it's only level 2. I don't think it could even be level 3. I'm just trying to get the Lania to die right now. Fight me! Which is kind of funny. Yeah, go ahead, fight. I just need the Lania die to reset the health. That's all I'm doing. Kill me! Do it! Alright, thank you. Jeez. Can he fix this in time? It's an NG. Alright, it's an NG. I have to kill the NG. This is the longest fight ever. Ever. It's not even close. I don't care if they fix the O2 now, it's fine. Oh, now you switch? Why did you switch? That doesn't make any sense. Well, that was fun. Yeah, 2 damage. I'll take it. I don't know. There's probably a way easier way to like clean it up after we establish control on their weapon system. That's what Crow gets paid the big bucks. Exactly. Millions and millions. Oh, double store. That's interesting. Because there's only one way to take what. Yeah, like just definitely don't get hit in the shields. Get the shields buffer. Why are the stores there? 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, maybe even 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know. We're still close enough to a store. If things go bad, we can go ahead and heal up. I mean, I could sell a bunch of stuff and get shields upgraded. I mean, that sells for 25. Shields 2 is kind of good. All right, I'll take shields 2. Convince myself. Things, stuff. All right, Core Sigma, welcome on board though, by the way. Like, we get that exact same fight again, but I have 2 shield bubbles. It just feels a whole lot better. I think the worst you take is 6 if you do that, and the light will like hit shields for his volley. Yeah. All right. Sell this. 22 and 22. That's my second shield bubble. Doop. Can we sell the Lanny and buy the Mantis? That's interesting. And I would like another Mantis. I mean, we could go... Oh, of course you don't connect. Why would you connect? 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's at most is 4. I was thinking we could go like 1, 2, like 3, 4, and out, but that doesn't look possible here. Heavy laser. It's like, it's same thing like Federation C. We're just trying to limit the amount of damage we have to tank to the face. That's why I hop here just to get shields. Like, it doesn't feel amazing. I'd rather go to the store with a huge pocket full of money, but I also don't want to, like, I could have that same fight, except it's an Artemis and behind Zoltan shields, and it's just like, oh, geez, I'm going to want that buffer point. I'm going to want that extra shield bubble so I just don't get annihilated here. So, I think that's just it. Survive the sector. I don't know, maybe we'll get something amazing for free. Asteroid field, that's a fun time. That's a fun time. Alright, we're gonna be here for a while. Should board with 3. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Because, yeah, I mean, this could essentially lose out on getting the crew kill. Never accept surrender. Might be a full crew reset here. Because then I could have just put 2 in here and break the weapons even faster. Yeah, why didn't I board with Angie? That was weird. Totally should have. I think I was playing on this mindset that I only had like 1 shield, and that's definitely not the case. because I upgraded shields. Well, so it takes you 12 and a half seconds to break a system, right? So if we board that, we're breaking one of these weapons offline in 6 seconds. If it's a basic laser, we're in a really, really, really safe position. Enemy solo, it wouldn't be enough. That's also true. Oh, did you say fire beam and flak too? Some reason I blocked that out completely. Don't recall those events ever. I'll look into that in the future. This the drink water and check posture one? Oh no, I didn't see that. Oh, is that the like the commands where you can tell people to like hydrate? Yeah, I'm... Oh yeah, no. This was a while ago, but yeah, it was right after Corey Sigmund joined. Drink water and check posture. Okay. Yeah. No, we were talking about suggestions about like the fight, and that was their suggestion. It wasn't clue to the fight, but maybe I just wasn't being specific enough. Fair enough. Could I go 1, 2, 3, then 4, perhaps? That might be interesting. Like, I mean, picking up a Mantis crew for additional boarding is really strong. Of course you have this garbage. Of course I didn't move my crew into position. I did all that wrong. Really slow reaction by me. Yeah, that was also slow. Come on, pay attention. I'm like been really lazy on the actual boarding stuff in a couple of these scenarios. Like I screwed that up and then I just rushed it and didn't save my own crew. Alright, okay, so I bought myself some time. Now why don't I stop and actually think about what I'm going to do instead of just slamming in keys and just jumping about the ship. Alright, let's kill the human. I'm gonna tank the 1 damage here. No, I need this Lanny to die. I need the Lanny to die. I mean, I screwed that up. I was just really badly played. Like, I was slow getting my crew over there. I probably could have saved myself a point of damage if I just boarded properly, if I had put crew in the right positions, rotation, which I didn't. Yeah, no, I'm not going to dwell on too much, but thanks. Yeah, it was just... It's like my brain is stopping. It, like, goes, like, one thought and stops and goes execute it, and you can't do that in FTL. You have to go, like, okay, if I do this, then there's this and this and this and this, and you have to process all of that before proceeding. If you're doing it piecemeal, like, you're gonna get yourself killed. Suggestions is undoubtedly the right spelling. Yeah, fair. All right, 44 bucks. I could go back to the store, buy Mantis by selling like a lockdown. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a second jump. So we can go 1, 2, 3. Question is that 3 jumps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's almost 6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's complex and like you do have a lot of options. Like sometimes you're only going to want to board with 1 crew. Sometimes you're going to board with like 2. Like if it's an auto ship, you really only want to board with 1 because you don't have emergency replicators, emergency respirators. Sorry. Sometimes you're only going to want to board with 2 because you may need like repairs. You're going to be more paramount. Sometimes you got to board with 3, and then like what boarding strategy you're going to be using is going to be pretty wonky. Well, Mantis C like is just about venting the room, but this one you do a lot of prep before you actually get into fights, and then you have to prep again when you're actually in the fight to determine what you're going to do. So there's like this step is first. Yeah, okay. Hilarious. Surprised it didn't burn down. All right, now the goal here is we're going to send the NG over to punch us, or to send the Mantis over and punch this missile system down. We're doing this so we can always break the missile before it has a chance to fire. And I need to reset this crew's health. Fed C better ship than this. I mean, the 2-person teleporter, or the 4-person teleporter is definitely better. Artillery versus the 2 weapons you have here, these are better. Repair speed is essentially the same. You have both have good responses to auto ship. You have a better solution to Zoltan shields with stun bomb. But all right, so we're just doing this for a while. We're just doing this for a while. We could send more crew to like, but I don't want to take damage. So here we are. This is what we are. Can win any fight on a timer. Oh, this best getting training. At least Fed C doesn't have long fights. It's true, they're not as bad. I mean, well, I mean, like the Lanius just stays over there and keeps attacking, where eventually you can get, you know, Artie to fire off. That is true. Assuming Artie actually hits. GG's. So now there's like the question of actually, do I want to jump back to that store to buy the Mantis? And I think it's like a massive upgrade for our boarding. Would you be Gros Revel? Probably. I wouldn't have a scarecrow in my garden though, that's for sure. Some sickos put those things out in there. It's very offensive. Hi, I just like to come by a visit. Oh, you put something that absolutely terrifies me in your front yard. That's very welcoming. Yeah. Yeah. Crowra fell. Oh no. Only if I fell again. Or do we just buy hacking? Or do we just buy hacking? You're just saying, I understand. Wow, that's an interesting choice. Like, the boarding of the crew is very helpful, but hacking is also, like, really, really helpful. And, like, there's always the chance that I get free crew. Like, I honestly, I just need bodies. $22 plus 22. You're saying you're not freeze-dried sausages? Whoa, Farb. You can't just ask somebody if they're not a freeze-dried. Wow. I mean, I know you could be crass at times, but come on, a little bit of class here, Farb. Just a little bit. Thank you. Of course, if we go that, I almost want the lockdown bomb. Because we lock them out with the hacking, and then we punch down their systems, and we lock them down, but we take the stun bomb because it actually gives us an answer to Zoltan shields. I'll buy a drone part, because I'm here. After all my last couple runs, I almost want to buy fuel, because I still seem to be running out low on that, but... Okay. Jump. Now we're just like looking for crew. Hey, it's a forward scout with a missile and a clone bay. So let's think about this, not just jump over all willy-nilly. Ha ha ha. Again, could be an Artemis. Okay, it is a Leto. Oh, wow, they all came around to this door? I thought the pilot would have... Actually, I don't have much started over here anyways. Oh, you didn't... Come on. You're being like... Okay, now you're in the room. Are you happy? Good. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know that timing as well as I need to. Yeah, that's the second time I screwed that up. They just take so much. I gotta pay more attention to that as well. Okay. Wow, you finished off the job instead of leaving immediately? Okay. I guess the despawn hadn't taken place yet. Alright, at least I don't have to worry about one of them coming back. I have to do that because they're running away, and I screwed up because I brought my crew back. So I had to do this to, like, hold them off. What a horrible fight. I might have to take a break because I am playing very badly and I can't fix it right now. Like, my brain is still just playing badly. Like, we're not in trouble, but I'm playing very poorly, and I really need to not be doing that. I mean, their weapons are offline. I don't need to hold them here. It's eventually I do win. That's why I'm not, like, super, but there have been a lot of very, very bad mistakes that I have made so far, and that absolutely just needs to stop. Right, no, I understand. I don't want to use the resource because I shouldn't have to use the resource. But I've botched like 4 fights in a row. All right, you're at 95 health, you're at 14 health. There are 2 crew left on their ship. One's currently caught in weapons. All right, we finished that one off. All right. Like, the fact that I boarded my own crew back? Like, what the heck was that? Seriously, what was that? Hey, Jackson Bird. Alright, so what am I doing wrong? Like, we're fine. I think I'm just like getting so bogged down by like all the potential decisions that I'm making, and then I'm not even following through on when I pick something. I'm like half measuring it, where it's like, okay, like, yeah, this strategy would have been fine if I, you know, pulled my crew out and saved them, or didn't teleport my own crew back, which is like the first time I've ever it's been a long time since I accidentally like pulled my own crew off a ship when I didn't intend to do that. But the fact that I did it in this run is not... That ain't good. I can get Jacksonport on board, though. And one of the things that's a problem is your brain is stupid. So my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm screwing up. I need to stop doing that. And my brain goes, yeah, so let's make things even more complicated and then also undercut everything you're thinking at the same time. So you don't have any confidence in any of the decisions you're making, but we also want to keep going at it instead of stopping, because that's how you fix the problem. So this is just like whatever for my brain to get sorted out with itself. Yeah, I have no idea how I boarded my crew back. Like it was just like a no think moment. Like that one was horrifying. I've done the boarding strats last time we did the Mantis C. I think even I did a run before that. But it was just like, what? How did you do that? Brain's like, teleport back to your ship? Because I like wanted to hotkey it instead of just like, you know, just click on the screen. Okay then. Brain doing brain things. Yeah, it does do that. Like, we have a good amount of hull still remaining. We actually already bought our second system, so that's really good. I just need to, like, take the time that I have, which is all the time in the world. I don't know, maybe I blew a fuse doing that one fight where we sat there for, like, 10 minutes and my brain goes, well, that's all you get for Sector 1. Call me again when you reach Sector 2. One, two, three. Okay, let's just do the checklist. All right, we've both moved both our crew back into position, and now we go into this jump. It doesn't, well, the sensors jump is less about sensors than just having the third crew in position. First ships in Sector 1 early game. Like I have a ship guy that kind of goes over like the Sector 1 strategies that I have for ships, but no, everything's always going to be like a little bit different. So you would need a lot of videos and like splicing together 28 different runs, or even if you're doing a bunch of individual runs, it's just like, you know, you can watch a run of a ship layout and go, okay, I see what strategy that you're using, I think. All right, pause, attack the pirate. All right, there's only 2 crew on this ship, and we're completely, totally, utterly safe. Cool. All right, I don't want to board with the Lanius because of maintaining the Lanius health, so we'll just board with these 2, and eventually we win. So we'll just take that. Fight assessment, it's important. NG on NG fight. Jeez. Okay, that's like a ton of money. Okay. Bring our crew back. Asphyxiate them. Have Clone Bay online. Good stuff. Yeah, like I don't think it was a bad fight. It was just, yeah. Star's decision's still on point though, so that generally is gonna get me through. All right, crew is moving in position. 1, 2, 3 jumps. Flash game called. This mix with the gimmick was that every time you went underwater the game, you're meant to hold your breath IRL. Oh, geez. Offer assistance. Attempt to scam the planet. I mean, scan the planet? I said scan. No M. Oh, jeez. That would be super disconcerting. Like, the Mantis boards with the NG and is, like, fighting the human and is like, all right, how's my little NG? Whoa! What are you doing over there? That's not right. Like, think about grossing out a Mantis. Offer assistance, teleporter, breath. Cool. Get over here. They can feel the love, yeah. Okay, it's cool. Yeah, I just want them as a border. More borders, more better. Still should do this in case maybe 4 borders is the correct situation. No. No, don't answer that question. Free stuff. Heck yes. Okay. Next sector. Awesome. All right, so that's Uncharted, that's Uncharted, that is also Uncharted. So we're gonna go here, so I got red sectors. Now I'm really glad we picked up the hacking. Like, there are not gonna be a lot of stores. Yeah. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I doing with money? Power's not an issue right now. That's fine. We will eventually want to go to a store this sector. Level 2 hacking may be a good play. There's not really like a high chance I dive in this sector because I'm only going to get like 1 jump out of it. Okay, we got that. We got that. Let's go. 4 missiles and 2 drone parts for 20 scrap. No, that's the drone parts I don't want to give up. We already have drone or hacking. It's gonna be really nice to have it for the fights when we need it. All right, there's a store. So because that's probably, so that's the Nebula store. There may not be another one. We're gonna farm up money before I hit it. Could be another store down here. Nope. Maybe eventually we'll make money. Wow, do I want a human for 25 bucks? Actual weapons? Yeah, actual weapons are good. I kind of want, I mean, like, that's just person 4. Well, yeah, micro the NG isn't inherently the issue. That's curious. Yeah, but crew are our weapons. That is true. And being able to board 4 strong is pretty helpful for 25. I don't think I can turn it down for 25 bucks. Sure. I still don't have anything very good against Zoltan shields right now, but you know, whatever, it's fine. Attack the pirate. Crew from engines. I mean, in theory, we could train off this ship. It would just take a year and a half. Okay. I actually should board in a way that protects Cora Sigma so that they get training, because it's way more powerful on them than anybody else. Nothing to look at. Yeah, they can look inside her ship. They're doing a roll. Time to get 3 more Rockmen fire. Yeah, that is a possibility. I really hope not. really, really hope not. But maybe we'll do avalanche strats. Mash fire. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I guess we go 1, 2, possibly 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. It's not the best. I guess we could try looking for like another, but I didn't have money really for the first one anyways. Get to the station? Cool. Yeah, able to take the missile down before I could fire. It was pretty nice. So I don't want to put the, like, if, some people, they'll, like, put the NG in piloting, because that's typically where you have the NG in these scenarios. But I want the NG to, like, fix stuff if it's getting hit. Like, put the Mantis up in piloting if we are doing some dodge training or whatever. Or you need to charge up the FTL. All right, that's 30 seconds to repair. This is a 20-second cooldown, which we're already on. No. All right. I was thinking we could send more boarders over to deal damage, but I think we're just kind of stuck like this for now. Crow. Would drones be an actual good system if you could buy a drone recovery arm, where you could buy a couple drone parts and like 60 scrap? So drone control on this ship is not the best, because these are the 2 rooms that are going to be hit the most. Like, it's not going to protect them as well as you would want them to. Little Annie would be nice. They're only available in the abandoned sectors. I think drone control is a little bit hated on. Like all things, it's because of the bubble issue, where, like, most of the time you're not going to pick up drone control on a run. So players take that to be that drone control is a bad purchase at all times, and that's not true. We bought drones on... We bought an offensive drone on the NGB. We bought drone control on the Rock A. Both those decisions, I think, were completely 100% correct, and passing on them would actually be wrong. Not like, oh, well, you know, people have different play styles. I think it would have been objectively wrong to have come away without buying those systems in that situation. I already got fixed. That's interesting. Sorry, I gotta make sure I get this stuff over there so I don't eat a missile that I don't need to. So, but the problem with drone control, one, it does, particularly offensive drone control, like, is it competes with your hacking for drone parts, right? Like, if you have a defense drone, like a DD-1, its ability to, like, when you deploy it, you're going to hopefully be negating a missile, and that's such a large proportion of the enemy's offense that you may not need hacking. So it's like, all right, well, I'm still only spending 1 drone part in this fight. That's fine. I mean, having to spend 2 drone parts in some fights can be, like, okay. Yeah, I think a lot of... Okay, Sultan Shield stuff. I think there was a... They were not... I don't know, I wouldn't... They could say... The Alpha Strike versus just a lot of damage over time. Like, it feels like they expected you to trade shots more than what we do. Like, we don't want to play fair. I don't want to play fair at all. I don't want to give the AI any chance. They don't play fair. So it's not like, oh, like all ions, and then my drones will shoot them down, and that's really quick. I don't know. I mean, hacking and halberd beam kills them in like 30 plus seconds. So done. Like, you're just done. You know, or you do such an amount of damage to their weapon system that they're no longer a threat. So you're effectively winning the fight. Winning it faster while being more dangerous, there's no benefit to doing it that way. Like, drones kind of help out. It's like, well, it gives you better options against Zoltan shields. Okay, right. And sometimes, you know, you don't have any alternatives for your offense. So you kind of have to. Also, Farb. You thought I forgot, but no, I didn't. I'm forever haunted. Yeah. Yep. Attack the pirate. Very safe fight. So now we're just doing this. Triple NGs? Oh, now I feel bad. I know, Ratman. You're good. Download, you can. All right, got a map. I'll just let's go. I'm going directly to the store now. What are you? Nebula, but it is a fight in an ion storm. How much power will I have for an ion storm? 8? So that's... I would still need 1 more power to actually power up my teleporter, so we should buy a reactor before we do that fight. And then also reset everybody's health. Whee! I once got boarded by 4 NGs. Like, there was 2 from a boarding event, plus 2 from the ship, and then they, like, small bombed their own NG crew. It was disgusting. Like, why would you do that? That's brutal. Probably just mostly wanted to buy fuel and drone parts. I guess we could also see if there's the other storms in the sector. I was kind of just focused on the, there was not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess like 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, that's not a dive. 9 NGs, yeah. Ah, jeez. Okay. I would prefer their missile not fire. I would prefer it to not fire. Oh, and a boarding drone? Jeez. Okay, so that's what they're spending their reactor on. Okay, wait. How do you even have the reactor for this? The boarding drone's what? 3 reactor? So that's 3, 4, 5. That's 6. Plus oxygen is 7. So they have They have to have 13 reactor. During spacebar. I mean, I think we're still doing this. Yeah, no. You're... Okay, they're going towards engine, so I have 2 buffers in engines. Shields don't matter. Let's get stun bomb online then. And of course, they have 3 crew. I guess I'll send you 2 to break that system. These 2 can hold their own against the 3 crew for the time being. Wow, missile fired? Okay. Alright, missile fired. What's it hitting? Drones. Or hacking. Alright, that's not the biggest of deals. Do I want this board offline, or do I try and stun? I don't know what level that is. Wow, it seems like a pretty high level med bay. Okay, so the boarding bot is currently down. I still don't have any hacking, that's fine. I don't care about that room. Let's just pause for a second and actually think out the rest of this fight. Yeah, we sent that crew to hold that position. That's gonna come off stun in 5 seconds, so the ion damage. I need to do 1 damage to it before to break. Okay, so it's offline. Boarding bot's offline, that's all I need. Rotate those 2 crew. All right, I prefer send them back down to here for the time being. So we're just in a hold pattern. All right, we still have 2. This is fine. Nope, don't fight my Lanny. So again, we do actually have control of everything. All right, I'm gonna send you 2 out, and then no. So you go here, you go there, and then you 2 are just gonna be kiting, so I can break the med bay. Never mind, it has no oxygen in it. Hilarious. I'm pretty sure they can't fix anything. All right, let's just do a crew wipe at this point. Oh, did you fix weapons? What? How? I thought the other one had died. Okay, that's fine. Skip that noise. Get out of here with that garbage. All right. Hey, Wex. That was fun. Mostly because they had an absurd amount of reactor on their ship. Holy heck. Holy heck. So like I said, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're operating 7 power? I guess we'll see you running with the combat twos, waiting for the combat drone just to pop up when you kill the weapons. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I adapted a different strategy where I just shoot the drones first. Because like at least I know what the weapons are and can kind of contain it. Alright, so we have this store here, correct? That's the plan. Mylanius is at how much health? 17. Okay. Like, I won't be able to heal him up anyways, so. But if you mouth out the rest, like this ship that doesn't. Okay, so we counted all the reactor. We know it's level 1 oxygen, so we did that. So this was +1 power. Mid-bay was another power. And they can only max out at level 3 engines, so that's +5. Right? So again, they were operating with 7 power, and then there was 5 they weren't using. That's more than half. The game rolled it up so that they had actually more reactor than, assuming that they actually operated with in the normal boundaries. Like they could have overbought reactor. Medical firebomb. Mm-hmm. Anyways, store. I have no idea if it was upgraded. We didn't do enough to it to have that. Give the one silver Biff. Thank you very much supported. Jackson Bird, welcome to the Murder Most Foul. Yeah, I mean it's not often you set bombs on your own. Like you'd have like the heal bomb thing. Oh, pre-igniter, hacking stun. Hacking stun sounds awful. I don't want mind control. Defensive drone control would be not great. Cloaking is what we really want for our final system. I can sell this. It's like 35 bucks. Just all about myself from time to time. I mean, hey, to each their own. So let's go ahead and buy 2 drone parts, buy all the fuel. Hacking stun. I just said we're not going to get hacking stun. It's awful. Hacking stun is the worst. The only reason we... No. No, 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 no. Oh, you meant to continue... like... The continuation sub-program on Twitch is garbage. Like, it's intentionally confusing at this point. Hacking stun. Hi, Kalaria. Good, good. Thank you all for contributing. Remember what I said about suggestions on this channel? I have now changed my mind. I have a suggestion to myself, and it's not to allow chat to speak ever again. Hey, not that one guy. Oh, no, best name in the game. Yeah. Yeah, nope, see, look, I'm learning and adapting. That's the key to FTL. All right, I will get hacked to level 2. Suggestion. Testial, hello. I'm happy. Yeah, no. Like, I have an Amazon sub, Prime sub, and it renews 4 days after my sub runs out on the channel that I use it for. Like, what the heck is that? How is that possible? How is it my month-log sub runs out before I can use it again? And then, like, Twitch used to always be like, hey, you want to renew your sub? You want to renew it? It's still good for another, like, week and a half. And they're like, I don't know, maybe. Training NG on Reg fighting for boarding purposes. May has 35 days. Oh, yeah, that's also true. I keep forgetting that. All right, core Sigma will be healthy when we jump. I don't think we buy any more crew. I know there might be a temptation to buy, hey, it's a slug. Slugs are really good as pilot because you're not going to get mind control. But no, I kind of don't want to spend more on crew right now. I kind of want to start holding scrap together for cloaking at this point. Boarding fix. Yeah, boarding fixing. I attack the ship. Okay, this ship has a Leto and a chain laser, and they also have boarding. Fun. Should have boarded 4. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, okay. We got that. We got this. Okay, so because we actually have the missile offline, we're gonna leave. We're just gonna leave. We have, we're now completely safe. There's no point in punching down the system any more than what we just did. This is fine. Chatter? Yeah, versus random. Yeah. That's fine. Lurkers are great too. But I wouldn't tell somebody how to, like, gift their subs. Because you, yeah, you know, gotta make use of all those quality emotes. Oh no, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to firebomb my own crew. I could just have healed them. Biff, super kind. Ratbed, welcome to the murder most foul. I hope that was intentional. Yeah. I'm not. Now I have the ability to save my crew's health if I need to, but I'm not gonna. That ain't gonna happen. I can bomb my crew back to health. Nope. Is this better? Like, do I have a... I guess I just leave it there. Nope, nobody on my ship has any rights. Those were signed away when you joined. That's the rules. Are you sure you can bomb your crew back to hell? I could. I mean, there's a potential for it with the firebomb. Yeah, see, the firebomb already does that job. That's true. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can pick up these jumps anyway, so... Mapping is not an issue here. Might as well. Fun. Like, even though I lost a jump, it's a set fight, so... oh, cool. Rock crew member. That's good scrap rewards. Shade Rainville, how's it going? How you be? What do I have? What do I have? Would you like to be a rock? You can be a rock. Get you on board. All right, we got one more jump before the exit of Sector 2. Okay, well, that was Sector 2. And all its glory. Mantis Homeworld or Rebels? All right, so Rebels are auto ships. Mantis is probably the best for us. Pebblewee Bird Lad? Wow. All right, I can get this like on board because they didn't apparently have preference, so welcome on board. Not that one guy wishes to be a rock. Cool. Got it. I think you could potentially do Mantis Homeworld quest. I mean, technically we have everything for it. I don't want to fight auto ships. I don't want to fight drone control. Like, both those things are not great for me. Okay, there's the distress beacon. Why is the sector layout gross? Wow. All right, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ugh. Even if there is a store here, I can't go to it. We like lose like 5 jumps in the sector. All right, so we still take this jump in case these are stores, but all these jumps are lost. And we'll just go along the top side. Let's see, I have 77 scrap. We would like, that's another 20. Again, the idea would be to find cloaking in this sector. Would be pretty ideal. That's a bad. I had one where the first 7 jumps were forced once. Like, it forced you to go to the exit. Like, it was just a straight line to the exit once. It was disgusting. Mantis prior will be tempted to use. Oh, to keep the heal bomb so they get to keep their stats? That's true. But also not. Alright, 2 shots and a mini beam. Fun. Wow, they only have 2 crew on their ship. Gross. Okay, I would very much like to break their weapons. Could you, like, highlight and move? That'd be awesome. Alright, really don't want to mess with that. Okay, close all the doors in case they hit my doors. Oh, fun. What? Get back here! Okay, 22 bucks. Let's go ahead and fix this. Seems like a good idea. Don't have a real chance to reset crew health here. Okay, no stores. Like I said, we'll just go along the top route then. Hope for the best. Intruder on deck. Totally. I almost, yeah. So 50% chance we take damage here, but 50% chance we get a free Mantis, which would be helpful. This is only a third of a chance to take damage. Sick. Oh my gosh, and the fight's completely safe? What? How many? Double NG? All right. All right, so now we're going back and forth and doing the distractions so we can break their med bay. Now we just win. $21. 120 scrap. Good job, everyone. So you'll heal, you'll heal. You're actually kind of okay. You, not so much. Stick, always look at the name. Everyone's getting a record and having good times. Nice. Does somebody want to be a Mantis? No. Okay. One Lanius, one rock. Okay, everyone gets saved in that position. So there's a possibility that the 1.5 stores was there. So we're also not going to this distress, even though it's like, oh, but there's a thing there, because I do want to find a store, and this burns a jump of sight in the sector. Hi. Well, this is fun. I like this. Okay, so 2 shields, clone bay. Definitely hacking their weapons here. Somehow it doesn't really help me out here. Maybe firebomb's the right call? Okay, so if we board 3, and then we send 3 over here, it's now going to be the Rock versus 3 crew, so they're actually going to hold that for a while, and we have 3 of them trying to break their systems. All right, they have a lot of health, so now we're actually going to pay attention to what we're doing this time around. Now we control the fight. Everything's good and fine. That's how it's supposed to work. The first 4 times that I didn't do it. I want to become famous? Wow, do I want to become famous? I mean, like, am I not already famous? Yeah, no, it is not. All right. I mean, I guess we can try. the NG's just for HP. Cool. To refuel, nice. 20 scrap, decent. All right, everybody gets refreshed, except for the NG, I think. Being famous is lame, trust me. I'm kind of famous. I got my own little thing going. It's going all right, you know. What? So I got throngs of fans. What would I do with it? Well, I mean, I barely can control what's going on in my chat right now. Let's be honest. This is this unhinged mass. Adding more to that's just fuel to the fire. Say to make it seem like they're famous. Crowcon. Yeah, I know they were doing TwitchCon, and I was like, I should go to TwitchCon, but nobody that I know is going to TwitchCon who doesn't like just live in California. I was like, well, I'd rather just go to California and not mingle at an event full of potentially COVID and other things. I just don't know. Nah. I'd rather just like, hey, maybe, and also like prices are just exorbitant. The Musica, right. What I think like the cheapest hotel was gonna cost me $350 a night. It's a lot. Okay, 13 plus 17, 30 bucks. Cool. Self and exactly fine. No, I'm sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 jumps left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Still pushing for a store. MurderCon. I feel like that might attract the wrong element. You know, all this talk of cons, I thought there was like, you notice a furry of late. I was like, what? Oh no, flurry. Flurry. All right, fair enough. I really would like that missile not to fire at me. No, there's only 2 of them. Come on, break it. Break it. Cool. Wow, 6 fuel and 27 bucks? That's amazing. Yes and yes. I mean, the C is much like the Mantis B in that it does kind of like steamroll. Or snowball, depending on how you want to look at it. About what, the one crew we bought? Yeah, we just bought the human. That was so cheap. Okay, 180 bucks. Not a store, not a store, not a store. Maybe a store. 1, 2. Mantis ships. So we could go 1, 2, and essentially burn like 2 jumps in the sector. But if that's the store, then we get eyes on a store to buy cloaking and complete our ship. I think that's actually the right call. We're not in a position, like, our crew is okay. Cloaking is like the last part outside of like Zoltan Shield bypass, but we have enough. No, we don't actually have enough. I was going to say we have enough garbage weapons to get through it consistently, but we really don't, because this doesn't have any impact on Zoltan Shields, and neither does this anymore. How can you tell where the store is at all? So, I know that this sector has 1.5 stores in it, but that's one guaranteed store, okay? So what I do is when I map out a sector and like the jump, I try to get to either jump on every beacon or be adjacent to it, because if I'm adjacent to the beacon, it will show me where a store is located. So the fact that I haven't seen a store means that this beacon, this beacon, this beacon, or let's see, where did I jump from? We went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, 7. So essentially, by like the jumping that we've done, we eliminate the possibilities of stores. So in likelihood, if this is a store, then I will never see it. But at least these two possibly being stores. So that's how I process the sector. That's like why we didn't go to this distress beacon here, because I wanted to push to see as many beacons as possible, so I would more likely find the store. It was just the sector layout was very not good in allowing that to happen. So like we now have a decision. We're like I said, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 jumps left in the sector. 1, 2, 3, 4. About. So we could go 1, 2. Maybe this is a store. 3, 4. Or we could go 1. If this is the store, pick it up in here, and we lose a jump. But if it's over here, we can go 1, 2, 3. Grab this if this is the store. So I'm risking a jump by taking this beacon, but it opens up this jump as a store possibility for us. And I put a lot of value in that being a store. Like if we find cloaking, essentially the run is effectively over. Like we are in a position where we just don't die against any ship. Well, maybe not any ship. Jeez. And that's what we're going for. All right, we're gonna hack their weapons here because they are spooky. I actually should move the Lanius into doors. That should happen. All right, so they have one NG crew here. They have this Mantis up here, so they're gonna be breaking down different doors. So I have a little bit of time to try and break their weapon system. Ideally, we deal like 3 damage before they get in, but I should be able to deal 2. All right, unfortunately, the weapon that I wanted offline didn't go offline. Yep, oh, never mind, we got there. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. So Legendary Mantis event happens just as a bonus since we aren't actively looking for it. Yeah, generally speaking, I guess should be in this scenario, yeah. Oh, this is a prize fighter event. They don't even have an NG. I could get a free weapon from this event. I don't care. I'd rather just take the scrap from the crew kill than chase it down into another sector, because there's a possibility I won't even be able to get to that quest beacon. Stores, board, Sutton, heresy. All right, fair, fair. Of course, I just gave a very long explanation. If they're not listening, then how did they hear all my goodness? $30. All right, so honestly, I really should just have the Lanius here indoors. Like, that's the best place for Lanius, is doors. Are you the store? No. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go, essentially we're gonna go exit, see if this is the store, and then back to exit. So we're burning 2 jumps by doing this. Right? 1 jump. Oh yeah, there's so many badges. I don't think we need any stinking badges, but... Alright, we're gonna refresh our crew's health again. Have stuff to sell. If we don't find cloaking, we may just upgrade to shields 3. Early next sector, just again, all of this is just to mitigate damage. Yeah, the federales. I did have a fun small argument, because I was just like, yeah, Treasure Sierra Madre. And someone's like, no, it's Blazing Saddles. I was like, it's where Blazing Saddles got it from. Treasure of the Sierra Madre. They don't got no badge. I don't need no stinking badge. All right. Again, this could have been the store, and we don't see a store in this sector. That's fine. I mean, we gave it the best chance to find a store. Sometimes. So like I said, that is the importance of proper sector routing, giving yourselves as much chance. So essentially, there was like 2 beacons we didn't get to see. Of course, there may not be cloaking here. The store might be just complete hot garbage and we get nothing for it. Yeah, no Kazakh. Sorry. Burst. Well, that's terrible. None of that stuff that I want. Okay, so we're selling this. Badgers? Well, no, badgers. Badgers are a different story. There's only one badger. What? Repair arm. No. Burst Laser 1's kind of interesting here because it does give us something against Zoltan shields because I don't really have anything against Zoltan shields. So we can get like 3 weapons online plus hacking plus our boarding. Like that's just a better scenario for us. I almost want to keep this just because it does give me the chance to like heal crew and save skills every once in a while. That might be really nice. All right, so our problems right now really are we still have no real defense against missiles, and I don't have like clean ways to get through Zoltan shields, and nothing at the store really helps me with missiles. Buying is even worse. Generally speaking, Pilgrim, I would agree. Repair arm is very seldom the solution. The only time I would think about buying a repair arm or keeping it is like if you don't have a 100% safe ship, and you know that's going to vary depending on skill level, in going into like sector 8 and then maybe picking it up so you can heal up damage while you're tanking some hits from the flagship that are unavoidable could be really nice. We could die for Kazakh. So I think in all these scenarios, Firebomb is like the weakest. Dislike me. Thank you for gifting to sub Pelgrin. Pelgrin, welcome to the murder most foul. So I think we're gonna get rid of the Firebomb. We're gonna buy. Actually, should I just buy Pegasus? Pegasus takes 20 seconds. We're going to be hacking for currently 7 seconds, which actually buys us 21 seconds of time. Pegasus might just be the right call. It's weird buying a Pegasus instead of a burst laser, but like missile support is way better for us. Seems too situational. Well, I mean, what it does is it gives me the ability to do 4 damage to enemy weapons after I've done a little bit of punching them down. So for the most part, it will neutralize enemy weapons. So that's really nice. It's not great against Zoltan Shield, but it's actually pretty decent boarding support. Where this is really good against Zoltan Shields, but buying both puts me perhaps too far behind to procure... cloaking. I gotta figure that out. If I buy that gun for... no, we can still buy it. So we could still actually store. Let's go ahead and buy the burst as well. We're still at 152 bucks. Plus I have 20 to spare because I can sell the healing burst. I just don't have a reason to sell it right now. So let's go ahead and buy 2 drone parts. If this makes sense. Pegasus hacking. All right, it helps to some degree. We are only in Sector 3. So, like, Sector 4 is going to be 3 shielded ships. So this is, like, dealing with Zoltan shields. This is dealing with absolutely everything else. And we start putting buffer points in shield systems while floating enough scrap for cloaking. That is our current plan. That is our current pathway forward anyways, as I see it. Civilian sector versus Uncharted Nebula. Yeah, civilian. Even though that forces us into a purple. Think about this. Last beacon could be Kazakh. Yeah, I can't really dive because I don't have cloaking. That's just very sketchy. Wow, speaking of terrible sector layouts, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, I just had to keep, like, what is with all these donut sectors? Well, I mean, I'm going here. I guess. Hi. All right, powering your weapons. That's fun. That's gross. But they don't have anything else? Okay. So as long as we have 2 shields up, we're completely safe here. Why did I go to the Civ sector? We always go to the civilian sectors. The other one was Uncharted Nebula. Like, there's no way I want to go to Uncharted Nebula. Uncharted Nebula is the worst sectors in the game. Civilian sectors are the best sectors in the game. In terms of, like, scrap, chances for stores. So civilian sectors, 2 to 3 stores, guaranteed. Nebula sectors, Uncharted Nebula sectors are, like, 1 store in the Nebula, and, like, that's it. And maybe one of the non-Nebula beacons might have a store. The other thing is like scrap rewards for Uncharted Nebula are very low, and I don't even have long-range scanners to help make up for it because they have so many empty beacons. Scrap rewards in civilian sectors are like the highest in the game. So it has max stores and max scrap. All right, so we're gonna eventually get control of this fight. That little boarding bot's like, I'm gonna fix. Nope. Yeah, no, there's almost like never a chance that I'm not going, like, the only time I wouldn't go civilian sector is because I need stores, but I'm in trouble, and I don't want fights, and there's like an NG sector option. Like, that's about it. Mm, 70. Yeah, whatever. This is why I hate Clone Bay. I just figure civilian sectors, that must be for plebes. Yeah. What was it, Mechlors? Mechlors actually went through and did like 100 runs of every sector at Sector 4 to kind of figure out what scrap rewards were. There's still some issues in, like, you know, it wasn't effectively crew killing. There were other factors that may determine the scrap results of sectors. Like, if you have an NG for NG sectors, it's a lot better. But generally speaking, yeah, you're gonna want to go to civilian sectors. We still keep this as our weapons for now. Is there a magic number? Well, I try to keep them at 100%, and my clone bay at level 2 means that we're healing 16 HP every jump. So as long as 16 HP gets them to 100, that's fine. Okay. That's stressed. It doesn't even show me anything. Yeah, we're just going down this direction. Really? Nothing happens. Fight, fight, flight. I don't have that. Gross. I would have preferred that not to have happened. Fairly safe fight, though. Okay. I mean, I could have moved crew to start punching down their weapon system here. Oh, right. I didn't even give myself a chance to dodging those shots. That's on me. Yeah, so Shade's fine. The rest, they're a little bit low. They're a little bit, under the weather here. Yeah, so they just got a double fleet pursuit, so I lost out on seeing those beacons, which might not actually been, like, much of an issue. Like, I may not have been able to get to them anyways, but I still lose out on jumps in the sector, which is gross. I'm at 180 scrap. Shield buffer. Yes. So like I said, Shields 3 helps try and keep us safe. Level 2 scanners. Yeah, I could have got level 2 scanners to help with it. Yeah, actually, that's the second time that happened, though, this run. But blue options. So I'm going to start buffering, pointing, like, up our shields up, because while floating enough for cloaking, it's essentially going to keep us safe as possible, while still giving us what we need to buy at stores. Again, scrap management is very important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess. Listen to your offer. Although the dock is technically illegal, we promise to pay you in fuel and scrap if you say, okay, cool. There's a store? That's pretty glorious. That's super nice. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do they have aliens on staff? I mean, I think technically everybody's the alien staff. I don't know, it probably has to be like registered and regulated and, you know, that kind of hogwash. Space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dangers abound. Defend the outposts. So as long as I break one weapon before they fire, which definitely happens. We're safe. Ta-da! All right, I vented that. I should move that crew. Well, that weapon's broken forever. Are you kidding me? Okay. 17 and 28. All right, we'll put our oxygen back on. Jeez. No. I mean, it's kind of okay. You'll heal it back, but... Oh, no, actually, wait. You're supposed to be indoors. That's the best place for you. All right. Drops me down to 125. That is acceptable. 3 shields. We still have this to scrap, and we have 2 more jumps. I'm gonna keep the squishy metabolisms going. They're kind of the worst. I try not to bring it up because, you know, try to be polite, but can't stand them. Cannot. We're actually okay on fuel, but thank you. I say that now, I'll regret it later, most assuredly. So you may ask, like, why are you getting up engines? Like, or like, why are you getting up shields versus engines? Isn't that better because of like dodge chances? I don't care so much about dodge chances. I mean, it might help to like run away 15 scrap, but like 3 shields saves us from a lot of bad RNG, more so than because it's guaranteed to like just eat the shots, versus like maybe you dodge and maybe you don't. Kind of the worst. Sure. Okay. So this ship actually cannot harm us. One shield, 2 shield, 3 shield. Yep. Just totally, completely safe. Crow's word says he wants dodges, but his actions don't. What? I don't have the reactor right now to power my weapons, but I don't need to. It's just about maintaining the shields right now. Well, I guess I only need 1 shield. Oh, that's 2 shields. Back to 1. Are you fully trained now? Biff should be very close to, if not. Maybe politicians look good? I have doubts. Good job, Biff. Could also like train crew on weapons. All right, I'll buy a reactor. Cloaking's still very much on the menu in terms of things we can buy. Let's see what this is. All right, rescue the space duck. All right, I want this missile online. We're gonna want hacking online here. They're gonna board. Okay. Pretty easy venting here. They're probably gonna go to piloting. All right, so we want 2 reactors in this to buy us a bunch of time for our Pegasus. Plus, we're gonna board directly into this room. We only boarded with 2 crew, so they should only have 2 crew left. So one's gonna be punching in the door from here and one from there. So we should be able to at least do 2 system damage, potentially 3. And they're on this like pretty quickly, so 2 most likely. All right, so we're down. So we only now need 1 shield up anyways. I'm gonna rotate these 2 crew over to shields so they can finish their task here in weapons. Weapons are now down. This fight's ours. Clean. Didn't even have to use a missile. 30 scrap plus 5 hull repair. Hey, it's a store. That's nice. I'm pretty sure I take cloaking here. Thank you. Okay, they'll heal up. You two, not so much. Yeah, that's really nice. Now we just kind of, and we have like weapons we can kind of slap together to get the resultant shields, because we'll have the burst one, the heavy laser one, we still have the hull 2. We sell this now. This is cute, but not necessary. We'll buy the battery. I'll take the 2 drone parts just to maintain the amount of drone parts. Gonna be using them quite a bit. All right, so how many reactor am I down? 3, 4, 5. Technically 6, but I got a battery. It's fine. It's fine. So now we really should find a ship to like train on. Sure. Okay, cool. 5 drone parts. Oh, that's the quest beacon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 3 jumps left in the sector. I don't want to give up my drone parts. I think we just skip this, lose a jump in the sector, but I don't mess with this because I don't want to give up the drone parts. Plus, I don't have level 6 weapons to threaten them with, or mind control for some blue options. Yeah, screw it. We don't need it. I'd rather keep the drone parts, like I said. All right, 33. Level 2 cloaking. Crow, didn't you already say you're a 6 reactor down and now you're like 7 reactor down? Maybe. But with this strategy, we actually don't need this shield bubble. Like, it just doesn't really serve as it's not required for most fights now. Continue. Reactor for 4 missiles, which are fine. 2 drone parts. Yeah, I got 5 for free, so sure. That was 25 scrap back. Another store. Don't care. Uncharted Nebula. Wow. So that was Uncharted, that was Uncharted, that was Uncharted, that was Uncharted, and this was Uncharted. That's a lot of Uncharted sectors. Okay, so like stores in this sector, there's one in the purple and there may be one here. Maybe. So we actually go like this way. What? Uncharted Galaxy, yeah. Apparently, gotta figure them out. I mean, I don't need a store. I just like to know where they are. So I take that jump. I get those 3 beacons, and those kind of show me those beacons. And then back, I guess. I don't think we're going to go that way anyways. Teleporter. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I will take a free slug partially trained in piloting. That's pretty sick. Let's go ahead and upgrade this to level 3. So we're getting closer. Like I said, we're gonna have to train on engines and piloting to get the 100% dodge when we cloak. All right, not a store, which is fine. Even though I'm not inherently like trying to go to a store, I just want to know where they are located. Okay, so this ship does not have a medical unit. Not in wrench fighting? Hey, wrench fighting's fine. Wrench fighting is a powerful skill. You ever play BioShock? You're gonna want to know how to wrench fight in that one. All right, so technically speaking, we're safe. This is 3 shields. We don't know what kind of bomb this is. But we're probably fine to just cloak it and then just kill off their crew. Of course. Of course they board in the worst place possible. Buy my pilot as much time. So the only thing I'm paying attention to is I'm doing this. I know I win these fights, so I actually am just ignoring them. Like, this is just gonna happen. I'm focused on this and the sound of the bomb going off. That's it, that's all. Yuck. Because that we want to cloak. Nice. I really like to keep the training. Probably reset the NG health though. It's low and we're not losing like key training. 49. I could have done that. I really should have just moved them out after I got the cloaking and saved myself some HP there. Uncharted the Crow's End. I've never actually played an Uncharted game. Again, no console, so. All right, I got 66 bucks. Not a store. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 means I'm missing those 2 beacons, but it picks me up 3, so I guess we're going that way. Guess we're going that way. Attack the pirate. Well, this ship's disgusting. They have cloaking, no 2x2 rooms for us to board into. Okay. We might want to see how much of the fight we can control with, like, missiling down their weapons before we even board. mean, I could send 2. The only problem is like they'll break down the door. This crew will go and heal, and then I don't have containment. I honestly feel just like stalling here for now is the best recourse. Eventually, we should just be able to win. Oh, gee, I didn't even see it. It was like perfectly hidden there. I skip these fights? Yeah, they're not great. They're not the best fun in the world, that's true. Okay. Okay, somehow managed some way to get there. So if I board with 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm not really distracting the pilot. Let's just see if we get there. Yeah, I would say that we got there. Okay. Yeah, I'll just eat the 1 and use the reactor. Okay, piloting's done. So I knew this was going to be a slog. This is also the breach that we caused has been repaired by the slug repair gel. So, all right, got our dodge. I'm just holding them here because I could get like 1 kill by doing it that way. I don't know about the big slug ships. It feels like they're way scarier on average modes. There's a lot, like slug ships have a bunch more crew than they normally would, than you like would expect on other ships. Slug repair gel is no joke. Like, of all the things you have to play around, that's one of the worst. Like normally, if you're not boarding, like NG medbot dispersal. Well, if I'm boarding, I'm going to beat up at NGs anyways. That's not really an issue. But like its abilities to like just fix breaches makes them a pain to deal with. They can have like really disgusting weapons. They can have some of the highest evasions. The slug, light surveyor can actually have like more shields than you would expect. There's a lot to not like about them. All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna cloak here because we've been eating a bunch of ions in a row. Gonna wait for my other Mantis to show up. Board with 3. Minimum. Hi! This is fine. Okay, everyone's been cloned. Go ahead back to maximizing my dodge. Again, always want real power in my shields. $41. Yep, $41. Pretty good. Oh, you talked the first time you beat a ship with 5 shields? Yeah. It's back. It returned. Can't. It's like a bad itch. Alright, vent crew. I think we actually also got some, like, decent training there, though. Look at that. 8. A couple little dodges in the engines as well. It's pretty good. Yeah. Might go to engines 4. I shouldn't have to worry about hacking in this sector, so I don't want to upgrade my teleporter. Like, upgrading a 4-person teleporter, it doesn't feel like it's very necessary. Unless you have to, like I said, play around it being hacked by the enemy ships. Yeah, go ahead, buy another reactor. We were floating a bunch of power. Hi there. I'm going to attack the ship. Hey, look at you have hacking. Nice. That's great. My sensors. In a nebula. Against an auto ship. Chat. Sorry you had to witness that. That was very traumatizing for everybody involved. Alright, we'll just kill their weapons. I mean, I guess in theory we could wait out the bomb and then we have a training ship. Okay. I knew. It's gonna, of course, be that. Waiting for it to be broken, and then we'll board into like these systems and break them. Are we done? Yeah. It's fine. Now we're just grinding crew. That's some very bad AI. Yeah. There are people who are like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like auto ships or AI actually tried to beat you? And it's like, you know we would all die, right? Like nobody would get out of Sector 1 alive if FTL actually tried to play the right way and kill you. Just constantly dunking your weapons. Nope, no thank you. I'm cool with that not being the case. If they did that, Slug C would still be the best ship. Slug C's not the best ship, though. I mean, it's up there, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, NGC and oh, I got there. That's nice. NGC, Landy Bean. Yeah, no, I'm always watchful eye for that kind of shenanigans, Farb. I'm on to you. You know, you can have your settings to, like, you know, highlight certain words, and I, of course, have Crow Revel, but also Crow. But I've also added Stun Bomb, Fire Beam, Anti-Bio Beam, and Slug C, so I can always keep an eye on Farb. Always know Farb is there. Yeah, so highlight the word murder so I know if Roncley's in the chat. It's always talking about that. Like, let it go. When's the last time you heard of anybody losing an NGC run? I mean, it's definitely happened. I have not personally lost an NGC run. Or, sorry, Slug C, but also not an NGC run. Let's see. Hollow is 72-7 on Slug C, so that's only a 91%. Is 64-0 on NGC though, and 63-1 on Lanny B. Most fun to play, most fun to win, most likely to involve pizza. Saramar. Oh, I think I'm gonna miss maybe more jumps than I thought I was. Attack the pirate. Okay. You're a little bit serious, but you also don't have a medical unit, so... Oh, it's just bad for what I take from that. Okay. All right. Just cut, paste, screenshot here. What is your preferred drink when playing FTL? I mean, it's Dr. Pepper. It's normally what I'm like streaming with. Human, NG, Zoltan. Yeah, okay, this is just we board and go. This was the true thing I said today. I don't know, you did mention that the Slug C was the best ship. NG time. This game's hard. 1, 2... Yeah, I'm gonna miss a bunch of jumps. I thought I was gonna get over here like a jump earlier than what I did. So what, we were here, so we know that's not a 1, that's not a 1, so... Oh no, I guess I was trying to catch this beacon. 1, 2, 3, and I won't be able to. Consarn it. Though, where is Slug C on the list? Because that was like, Masala was very good with the Slug C. Yeah, so Slug C's 5th at 143-13. Overall win percentage. Excuse you. Subaru not dying when I tell you to. What am I gonna do with NG? I guess put them in weapon. Yeah, I mean ranks are whatever. I like just like having sort of general grouping of them, but I still say Mantis C and B are like the hardest ships to rank. Because some people are like, oh, they just always steamroll, and then it's like, or they just randomly die in Sector 1. Train somebody on Moderation Crow? Do it. How dare you? I don't know what that fight was. I want absolutely nothing to do with it, though. Like, we're fine. We're fine. Like, we should be able to win with what we have, but going into a Ion Storm completely blind at what auto ship you're going to be facing down? No, thank you. Not interested. Hey. Wait, didn't we save you last time? Okay. Still calling me repugnant. Rude. Small bomb. All right, we definitely don't want this. Definitely don't want that. I think it's better to rank them like starting off, transitioning to mid game, use stabilization, stuff like that. I mean, well, of course, like I said, the problem always comes is like if you're doing it based on like win percentage, and then if people struggle with a one ship type, that goes low in the win percentage. Like, I mean, Crystal B dropped down when I lost 3 of 4 in a row. And like trying to piece together like what I did wrong in those runs to be like, okay, well, one was just like a really fluky AI kind of thing. The other was just like a boarding mistake that I made. And then another one was actually another boarding mistake. Who wants to read 3 tier lists? Everybody wants to read 3 tier lists. Yeah. What does a trading scenario look like repeatedly banning Farb? Can't ban Farb. Look, I don't know who brought up all this talk about banning Farb, but that's, no, it's not. No. All right, let's go ahead and buy fuel. As we are 1 to 2. I don't think any of the weapons that they're offering are better than the weapons we have. Yeah, but see, if you're banned, and then you're banned from ban, that means you come back. Right? So it's fine. Oh, it's so much scrap. All right. So reactor, better scenarios for us. Another better reactor just to pay for stuff. Should think about getting additional weapon power though. I still don't have a solution to Zoltan shields other than shooting them down. Good. Okay, slightly gross. Hold on a second. I might have been a little bit hasty in my like good comment. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots against 3 shields. It's fine. Two shots is fine. Okay. Just gonna bide our time here. Don't gotta do anything too fancy. Cloak when we need to. Cool. Good training. Game. So, wait, 3, 4? Is this back online? Wow, they are aggressively shifting power. Okay. Here's Raven. Mysteries FTL, thank you. I'm a fan. Hope you've been well. How do you bite time? You go back for seconds. How much does your brain hurt right now? On a scale of like 1 to 10? Like that was way too fast to come up with it. It works. It's something really wrong there. Okay. Alright, let's speed it up now. Double secret probation. That was good noise. Okay. Just sort of using this as some training here. Jackson's getting close. Okay, they're up to 3 shots. That's completely fine. Still fine. All right, full training, nice. Would you like to give away missiles? You know what? I think it's okay if we give away 15 and still have 16 left. It seems like that's probably going to be a-okay. Might be wrong. Who knows? Cool. Next sector is rebel controlled or rock controlled? Rebel. Which ones do I feel more like dealing with? I guess rebels are fine. Like, our defenses are set. I don't really need the store. It can just be more money, which is good. 2 options here, because maybe that red sector is bad. All right, weapon. Who's got the weapon? All right. Still might use Pegasus for like phase 1 of the boarding, because it's just going to be easier to get through the shields to hit missiles for us, but this makes more sense against like every single other ship we go up against. Okay, well, if that's the store, then that's the store. So we're going to take this beacon just to see if that's the store, but then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something along those lines. And then I didn't actually go to that jump. Awesome. Hi, how are you? Ship's a little bit gross. Did you notice that? Oh, and you're running away at the start. Okay, well, we do have a solution to this. Okay, so we're hack this down. We're fighting against the beams. Actually, make sure this is real power. Just waiting for them to break. All right, so we're gonna go 1 bubble here, real reactor there. No, actually I need the real reactor here. Wait, do you not break it in time? If it's level 3, they can't punch it down fast enough? 12, 12, 36, they repair 1? $375 to break it, right? Oh, also didn't jump in immediately. No, no, that's right. No, no, we just let it go. I mean, I could have jumped away there. We don't want to lose the crew. That's true. Yeah, the slow boarding. I thought I was going to get there. So I needed to be more aggressive then with how I approached that situation. Okay. 2 jumps. Gross. Not the end of the world. Again, we're already fine, but just... Yeah, 37.5, and they jump and get... I still have never actually looked up the specific time limits, because I thought it was set, but then someone mentioned that they kind of shift. I think it's like the second one. Like, the initially leaving is set, but then, like, something about fights going on longer, they jump away faster. Continue. Intruders on board. Cool. Directly into piloting. Dope. That's fun. You're gonna hack my doors. Okay, so I kind of was actually expecting it with this boarding scenario, like that was gonna happen. Well, I'm hacking their weapons here. My piloting probably goes down. Okay. Like I said, there's nothing I can do about that. They have a ways to go before they're through that system. I do need their weapons offline because there's a missile. Clone Bay is not as much of a problem. All right, so you're locked in there with them. You're firing 2 shots. That's only needs to be 2 shields. Hello, Clay. You punch this down. I guess you go shields for distraction. Punch down Clone Bay. Angie's just gonna spawn back while we vent here. Get rid of this hacking garbage. Hi, I'm back in control now. Feel free to no longer enjoy your stay aboard my ship. I struggled early just like playing properly, but all in all, it's actually been pretty smooth. Should be able to win from here. Do I want to Chris? I don't know. Shield training plus the reactor could be nice. Versus the repairing. And they actually have some repair training on. I think we actually take the Chris. No, don't go suffocating yourself. That's... I decide when that happens, not you. Cool. Yeah, but we have systems, we have weapons, we have crew, essentially everything we need. Yeah, it's cool. It sound like they're like going really fast. That's what Papa Neat said in when we were playing Rocket League, is that, you know, the players with a bunch of like X's in their name, that's how you know they are really good. It's that kind of thing. Still have this human though. Could be upgraded. So the store is there. So let's go 1, 2, 3 to the store. Buy some fuel, maybe buy crew. There's a couple things we could potentially get. That ship that ran away, I was flat out was like, what? How is that able to do that? It's like, no, it's just FTL. Buying time. Yeah. Nope, that works. 2 bombs are online, that's it, okay. Nope. That was totally your handle, nice. I mean, you go with what works. We're gonna go ahead and hack their weapons down again. Plenty crew's got this. I don't have anybody trained on weapons though. It's slightly concerning. So the store, what I'm looking for is fuel, maybe a replacement human. Zoltan Shield bypass would be ideal. Cool. Good, clean living. So we buy all the fuel. That's not a that's not a mash. It's not, because that's, first off, it's not a thing. And see how it says mash the free weapon button? Is this a weapon? Is this a weapon? Your Honor, would please the court. This is not placed in the weapon slot. Can't do it. No, this crew is not of anything of interest. Okay. Not for any non-weapon that cancel out. Right. Wait, what? RNG manipulation? That's actually a thing that exists in this game. Apparently, like, the frame on when something occurs can affect the item that you're given, if I recall correctly, when somebody did like a task run of FTL, which you should go find on YouTube. It's hilarious. And yes, no one has any idea, but like apparently you could do frame manipulations to alter rewards. At least that was something somebody was positing. 1, 2, 3. Let's not dive. It's a silly place. Sure. Yeah, I'll take 5 more drone parts. Yeah, you can totally trust me. I totally delivered those 5 drone parts beforehand. I will lead you to your destination. Of course I will. Trust me. There's other frame stuff. Yeah, I'm just, yeah. All right, not running away. Important. 3 shots for my 3 shields. Not as important. Do you have cloaking? You do. Okay. This is the slowest, surest way to do it. I'm sure you could be more aggressive with the boarding and probably be fine. All right, you need to make sure this is real reactor, so the hack lasts the full duration. Cool. As long as we have 3 shields, we're safe. Power, 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 and we're good. Everything is fine now. Eventually. No fear to run away. Well, they don't actually have fear. They just like they're gonna run away to report your location. They're tattletales, basically. Nice defenses. With the system hack, we actually can see the repair rate, so we know how far away the missile is from being back online. 38. Might be a good time to buy some reactor, I guess. Oh my gosh, 2. Terrible. So, endgame stuff, the only thing we're looking for is upgrading teleporting so we can get around hacking, upgrading our oxygen so we can deal with phase 1 O2 hacking. That's really it for the big things. Should still probably get level 3 hacking as well. That's essentially all we need. Yep, they're not using them right now. Jeez, FTL jammer. Well, heck, I could have used that earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Uncharted Nebula. That's good fun. Maybe we'll be able to pick up a Mantis here. I have no idea which quest is these. When is this to deliver drone parts, which I kind of don't want to do. Yeah, sorry, Farb's ears are burning. Oh no. Oh, that's cheap. You're not supposed to do that. All right, 3 guaranteed damage is not good enough. So we're doing this the long way, I guess. What level is it? 2? Okay, yeah. Try and break the mind control. I might have to let the doors go. Nah, it was an early hack. attack. Okay. It's better. Okay, piloting is now down for them. Elevate Clone Bay. Can I need to borrow this power? Yeah. They're fine. Whatever. Okay, there. Oh, good. All right, so for this... Get the dodge. Yeah, no, it can be not the best noise. All right, 3, 4 damage. Nope, still not enough to guarantee the missile comes down. So we have to wait for full cloak duration. Okay, got there. Everything is fine, except for that. Okay. And now I can turn on oxygen. It's all good. Oh, wow. Well, that could have been helpful like a year ago. Emergency respirators. That makes boarding auto ships a lot nicer for us. Stick. We're 16 health. It's fine. So they should heal up by the end of the jump. Okay, no stores. Double bombs and a missile and a charge 2. Okay. Seems like a weapon hack. So we board 4. We're gonna invite the other 2 into the room. We're just trying to kill them before they leave. Okay, Ventine's dealt with them. Can we break their weapons enough? Alright, power oxygen, seal in the Lanny. Okay, we're good. Drop off the weapons, full cloak. What are we using for? Alright, free heavy laser. Not particularly worthwhile, but it's okay. Store? No. I don't know, in case somebody had to do some repairs on the ship, maybe? From the inside. All right, Cora's gonna take a little vacation, which is now gonna take an hour and a half because I have emergency respirators. That's fun. All right, like I said, that's the last thing I need, and that, and then we'll buy a reactor, so we're good. All right, and we now, like I said, we should have everything to pretty much guarantee win against the flagship. So that's cool. Still would not mind a replacement for our human border to be a Mantis border. Level 1 mind control. I mean, technically we could ignore it. Asteroids might be just being super helpful here, so see if we can get away with this. Just cloak the, well, I just said something nice about you, asteroids, and then you had to go do that. Oh, there's the store. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't be the boarding event. Because there's no other ship here, it's why our FTL actually charges so fast. It's like whenever you defeat an enemy ship, your FTL, I don't know exactly how much faster, but it is noticeably so. You find the station, respond to your hails immediately. Took you long enough. Practically no use for these now. I refuse to pay full price. Take these and leave a cargo in our holds. Remain silent, but power up your weapons. What? Sounds like intimidation tactics. You made a great point. You traveled all the way out to fulfill a request, despite what's been a difficult scenario and caused a delay here. So here's a tip: 4 fuel and 57 scrap for 5 drone parts. Cool. Yeah, you know. I appreciate it. Service well rendered. That level 3. Another reactor. We should next probably just get level 4 shields. Just to be extra safe. Gunboat diplomacy? All right, they're boarding with 2, 3 left, NG and that. Their weapons are dangerous, so we hack the weapons. Vent these jerks. Charge hacking. Because we're going to be waiting for a little bit. No, just change your minds. Don't want to go that way anymore. Actually, might have made more sense to hit the med bay there. Fight's completely safe now. One little NG. All right, 57. Come back. Return. Still got 2 more jumps before the store. Clear your health. We'll keep everything else. Like, we're safe in all the fights, and I just don't want to spend a whole lot of time constantly respawning my crew. Essentially, we inevitably win everything now. Let's have all of our shields up and go. Giant alien spiders? Heck yeah, I'll help you out. What, you think I'm concerned for the well-being and the safety of my crew? That's adorable. Store. Crew? Justin! Hi there. This definitely gets sold. This also gets sold. I almost want to sell it just because it's such a pain to when venting my crew out, how long it takes. I still think I want that for phase 1. Ship. Dislike me. All right, you're gone for now, but we're bringing it back. Don't worry about it. Bye. All right, Clay. Hope work treats you well. Thanks for stopping by. All right, that's better. And again, we have the money to spend on it, so it's fine. We keep everything else. We are in Sector 7. Cool. Intruder on deck. No. All right. Oh, that's so gross. I don't need another Mantis now, and I didn't want to roll damage because we're actually going to dip below full healing when we get to the next sector, which is not ideal. Guess something could have been said about doing some repairs just in case that had occurred. Sometimes damage is unavoidable. I mean, Shade as a Rock is fine. No, I'm not gonna mess with it. I do not need quad Mantis borders. It's fine. Promise to help. Use an NG. Okay, that's like a ton of money. Exit. We may hit that and dive back. There's no real penalty for us to do so. Sure. It's just a drone part and fuel. Oh, okay, I got a boarding drone again. Suddenly have like 70 scrap to sell at a store. Fun. All right, we get engines 4 though, or 5 here, just in case they board into my engines. I'll have my cloak percentage be what more closer to what I need it to be. Like I said, that's for safety reasons. At least 1 reactor to pay for it. Let's go. Oh yeah, we're totally hacking these weapons. Look at these things. It's disgusting. Oh, they're not boarding us? That's actually really nice. Makes it so much easier to just not have to think about this at all. Alright, then we just do a level 3 cloak. And we're out of here. All right, you arrive at a small outpost close to the Federation base. Your access codes get you past initial security, and this officer sets up a direct feed to the Federation base's war room. Admiral Tully speaks first, saying, what is the meaning of this, and who are you? You explain your mission. The one they sent you on. Can't imagine why the rebels are winning. Your explanation met with murmurs, citizens, and disbelief among the officer. General Terzal of the NG Brigade speaks up, but intel suggests a potential counter to rebel technology. Risk all or save none. All right, chat. We're gonna risk it all, but just this once. Explain the weaknesses of the enemy fleet. It's the small rebel flagship. Small Tully responds, it's settled. The small rebels will be here in a matter of small moments. We'll do what we can to hold off their small warships, but you must succeed in destroying this small flagship. Your small current outpost can provide repairs and fuel, and other small repair stations can provide aid as well. Small luck. Let's get reactor. There's the base. Also, if we can find a store to sell a bunch of junk too, that'd be kind of cool. There is a store in Sector 8, but just, you know, Swoolah! See what you're doing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't have an anti-personnel bot, and then this fight is just over if we do this. No. Those rebel outposts really hampered in education, so yeah. Oh, that could be. Oh, I dodged nothing. Yeah, you hurriedly take all the scrap you can manage. 72. All right, that sounds like that's about all I can manage. Oh, that is glorious, Gloria. When I see that, it reminds me of the Irie Legacy, like all the people who got like the FTL community to like sort of be on the board. It's kind of like that. That image makes me laugh every single time. I love it so much. Reactor. You know what? Just to not clone my crew every single jump. Hi there. Gross? I'm gonna go with gross. Let's break this. Oh, well, that was unfortunate for you. Totally fine for me. Her 7 moons. Oh no. I was told there would be no math. Can you hurry up? Thanks. None of that for you. You can come back. You did your job. GG's. still takes forever. Cool. $59. Hey, it's a store. Would you like some delicious hot garbage? Pack a DNA bank? No. Oh, I could have gotten triple heavy lasers. What was I thinking? That's fine. It's fine. It's not really actually an issue. All right, you can have the boarding bot. You can have this. Everything must go. Yeah. It's probably more than I would get. Do I want to upgrade power? So that, then I can't. Like, I could do that and buy the ion thing, but that's probably classic me overthinking it and going for flexibility when really I could just buy reactor so my ship runs properly. There you go, chat. 3 reactor. 2 repairs. We're gonna fight it. I don't even... Can there be hazards in Sector 8? Must be Sector 8, yeah, Crowbot reactor. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, should be good. Two repairs is not needed? I mean, probably not. Probably would have been fine. I like being careful, though. Don't give FTL an opportunity to FTL you. Technically, that's 4 damage, so it's more. Well, technically, this is 6 damage. That's fine. Whatever. Wait, how much health are you at? Core Sigma's way too low. 65. You heal 25? Yeah, okay, well, enjoy this sweet embrace of the outdoors. It's traditional. Like I said, I mean, FTL can always FTL. You know, like, Phase 3 still is a little bit scary because I just don't have somebody trained in weapons and we don't have, like, amazing weapons to just destroy the resultant shields. So that can be kind of protracted, but we do have, like, cloaking, we have the bypass, so we'll be able to break their missiles in a pretty good clip. So it should be fine. All right, you're there, you're there. Last thing to buy, actually I prefer this to be at level 3. Yeah, what else are you saving money for? Did you know that, oh, that you love farming? In fact, you could refer to me as a math tool used for measuring angles. I forget what that thing is called. To the base. All right, this is it, the real flagship. Be able to destroy this monstrosity. The Federation's really have a chance to fight. There's no protractor. Oh. Fair enough. That's annoying. Okay. And the fun begins. I think I'd cloak this because I can't hack it. Or I cloak it now because they're not hacking my piloting. This gives me the best chance of dodging with my cloak. Hopefully I'm not punished. Okay. Board. I won't be able to fire missiles anyways. We're gonna wait it out. Okay. Now it's the waiting game. Okay, they're gonna come back. That's good. Alright, so we're completely safe as long as we have shields 3. Now we start the domination. Bring them back. Just pop the Lanny in there. Yeah, so this is your prototypical boarding strategies against the flagship in hard mode. Use hacking and cloaking to negate the missile system, punch these systems down, and then 3 shields is all you need. And with the clone bay, like, you don't have to like monitor the health of the crew that's here. And we do want to kill off all the crew here. So, like, normally if you're a weapon ship, you don't want to kill off all the crew. You want to leave one alive because it gives you slightly less evasion to deal with. But boarding, you don't want anything getting in the way of your ability to just board into missiles in phase 2 and break them. Same thing with phase 3. You have a bypass. Okay, no cloaking. Sure. All right, you need refreshed. There we go. Do I want to buffer point anything? No. We swap out weapons, though. So this next phase, we board directly into missiles. Piloting isn't the biggest of deals because we have the... So as it's going to go out for the rest of the run here, we're going to board into missiles, break that, hack their drones to take those offline, make them less of a threat, and then send their other 2 boarders into piloting, so then our shots are all good and live. That's the plan that I have. And then that phase, like, because we'll be able to board into missiles immediately and slow them down, our level 3 cloak should be sufficient to last through both of them. And, like, there should be no problems with our piloting because we have the slug here. I mean, I could go for more dodge in case my engine's crew gets MC'd in the final phase. It's about all I could really think of. Oh, we can even get a free repair? I'll take that. I'll take free money. Potentially more free money. Relatively speaking. Oh my gosh, totally attacking those rebels. Hi! Your weapons are not very spooky. Close. Okay, coming completely safe now. GG's. No. Not stealing civilian supplies. It could result in us taking damage, and I would just prefer not to. Hey, sub-element, how's it going? Crew health shouldn't really matter. But again, due diligence. It's a good idea. All right, actually put you also in weapons, just to get the 10% charge. I'm doing all right, doing all right. All in all, it wasn't eventful, except I was just, for some reason, I was really struggling in the early sector, but all good now. So we got that buffer there. Let's go ahead and buy a reactor and, I don't know, upgrade doors. Just to prevent fires from spreading if something really weird or wonky happens. Yeah, we're full on out. Base. I chased down flagship. Several damage from the previous fight. Yep. Cool. Okay, you two, go ahead and start punching that down. You're reacting well? It's fine. It's normal. I don't know why people think that I don't get enough good reactor. Actually, we had to turn this off, which is unfortunate. It's heading dead on. Oh, it's not. Okay, that's cool. How are you going in my engines? Oh, that's so ridiculously annoying. All right, I got level 2 oxygen. Open up this ship, close off the Lanius, so the breach I don't have to worry about, and then we're gonna hack the heck out of them. Heck! All right, that's all those blew up. That's pretty good. Nice. Okay, so that 2 damage means the boarding bot is not gonna return. Unless one of their other drones gets shot down. All right, so missiles are now offline. We're gonna go ahead and start punching down their shields. Weapons are, they now have no evasion. I'll just do a level 2 cloak here. Should be enough. Okay, break this weapon from possibly sinking with the enemy. Surge. Oh, that was just a bad shot. The piloting came back on. It's fine. I'll disable their drones for part of the surge. Again, not, the fact that this isn't firing during the surge, this is when it could get really bad. Because the surge timing isn't consistent. So sometimes it's fine, like this doesn't line up, but other times it's like hits 3 of your shields and then the surge hits. Don't encourage Farb. Okay, let's go ahead and bring everybody back. Cool. The only issue really is the Lanius being in weapons here. I guess I'll throw them indoors. Because if they break my doors, I don't care. This is the only thing I can't upgrade, so might as well. Everything will just be what it is. That has no purpose. Let's just go ahead and do that at max so I can get my crew back, or I can get that power back if I need it. This crew we can just vent out, not an issue. Chase down the flagship. That's how we're setting up for mind control. You're not certain to give the amount of damage to sustain. Looks like it's transfer powers to teleport as well as some kind of super weapon. Be prepared. This is it. Okay, it's Biff. Like I said, Biff probably just breaks that stuff. I don't really care. Do I want to break the mind control more so than I want to break piloting so my shots land? I guess it doesn't technically matter. That's more random here. So put you in weapons though, so I get 10% training. All right, and that reactor's now back. All right, what level is the mind control at? It's still at level 2. Let's drop our shields, buy time. We'll be buying time. Okay, mind control's over. Oh, hi there. Cloak. Go for piloting. Fire our weapons to break our cloak, so we're more in sync with the surge. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's also the thing where, like, we did slow down the missile fire rate, so it helps make that gap better. But could still be quick surge. That's always annoying. At least they didn't. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna fix this. Yeah, so you can fire your, so like a level 1 cloak syncs with the surge pretty much perfectly. So then you want to fire your weapons to get out of the cloak so it goes back into cooldown and it gets back on the time that you want. Alright, go back to doing this again. So I'll be friends. No breaches. Oh, no. See, we didn't get it that time, though. Gross. It's fine. Quit it. There, now that's actually breached. That's fine. Oh, shh, it's okay, Farm. It's okay. Alright, this comes back. It's whatever. This is why, like, I always try to keep weapons online. Like, yeah, we do win eventually, but it feels so much better that I can actually interact with the ship by shooting it when I need to. Okay, we're done. We bring our crew back. No, no, no. Nice try. Okay, GG's. Okay, Mantis C done. 23. Thank you, Jackson Bird, Chorus, Sigma, Biff, Shade Raiden, Phil, and just like me for joining the crew. Where's the Mantis C? 23, 13 win streak overall. Neat. Last minute decision? Yeah, I don't know. 87.65. That would be amazing. That would be quite the thing. Yeah, it feels a little bit more 5,000s. Like, we didn't... our weapons were only level 6, so there was a lot of money that we didn't put into weapons. Yeah, probably mid 5,000 sounds about right. 53.38. 39 ships